long as nothing happens on this final lap, is definitely going to be the 72 of Joshua Durham. Alright guys, with all that information, we're going to go to a quick break, and when we come back, we are going to have some driver interviews.
Back in the groove like that, and a couple times I got on the inside there on the front stretch, and
Shut up!
You know, I could have pushed it a little, wider, but
See what happened here coming off of turn 4. Pretty sure it was the 18 of Brian Beach. It was. He gets very loose coming off the corner down into the 19 of Matt Horton. 78 of Brian Pizzakemi with nowhere to go here. They're the 1 car, Brandon Bennett. He gets into it as well. The 13 car gets clear. 81 gets clear. Played him. Hello everyone and welcome down to the Daytona International Speedway for the Rutnut Designs road race. Gonna be 100 miles of absolutely crazy racing from these guys here tonight. And as you can see, quite a few people just starting to roll out on track. Got a couple of people who have put in some lap times. Got Thomas Harmon with a 1:57.018. Matt Horton, TJ Crampton, Jonathan Hernandez, and Brian Pizzucchemi all in 1:57 range. James Watson in P6, first one to be in the 1:58s. Alright, so let's go see what these guys are up to. It looks like they might be getting ready for a pit party here. And another thing is, this is the NASCAR version of the road course here at Daytona, so it'll have that little shitty chicane just before the start finish line. There's James Watson, Kyle Knaus there as well. Everyone's just getting into position. Alright, so we've got everyone rolling now. See who we got up towards the front here. I can see TJ and Crabton's going to be off the pole for this one, possibly. Got the 48, Andrew Perkins next to him, Matt Burgess, Alexandra Butters taking up the second row. And this is definitely going to be very different commentating on this race because it is a road race, so might be getting a little bit more spread out as a few people take the turtles coming through the shitty chicane. Here we go, they're off and racing for the pit party. I'm surprised there's been no contact yet. We have one around. It's the 33 of Matt Horton. And I hear a lot of damage being done. Karen Sanchez was involved in that one. Frank Isaacson, Travis Macia, John Lozelle. These guys are still in the pit party. That's almost a move up the inside from Matt Horton on Mark Penico. These are the guys who were involved in that little incident. And around goes Matt Horton. I'm assuming Mark Penico had a crash with him. This is going to be something we're going to see a lot of around here is just silly little mistakes. Silly little mistakes are going to lead to a lot of drama throughout this race. You'll definitely be able to find who the fast guys are compared to who the not so fast guys are. We usually call them road course ringers unless they're up towards the front the whole time. And contrary to popular belief, I am not a road course ringer. Absolutely not. But the boys are starting to figure out another pit party here. Alright, here we go, they're starting to roll. See Kyle Kraus up there towards the front. Turn 2 is the 1888 of Jonathan Hernandez. 48 Andrew Perkins, the 4 of Jaron Sanchez going towards the front this time. And there he drops to the back. It's going to be Hernandez and Kraus off the front row. Perkins and Pisakemi second row. We've got Harmon and Burgess third row. Alright, here we go. They're off and racing. Finding the edge of grip here coming into the first corners. Always a bit of a difficult task. Pisakemi and James Olsen both going off onto the grass, but they managed to recover it quite well, honestly. That's 3 wide there. Got Frank Isaacson stuck in the middle. Oh, and off goes Kyle Kraus in a big way. That was massive. So there were some issues there for the 23 John Lizelle, collected by a couple other drivers. Oh, and around goes Chambliss. Frank Isaacson was already around. There was someone sitting in the middle of the bus stop as well. Not sure who that was. And around goes Sanchez. Luckily, that's the slowest point on the track. But not much damage would have been done for his crew. Oh! Burgess, that's not where you want to put the car. Seeing things on the broadcast side of things are a little bit glitchy, maybe. At least that's what my preview is showing me. And it should be a little bit better now. Okay. iRacing's taking up a lot of visual memory right now. That's a nice little move up on the inside of turn 3 for Thomas Harmon as Andrew Perkins goes for a spin. International Horse Show, I'm pretty sure that corner's called. As in the background, there's shenanigans. Thomas Harmon's leading the way now in the standings with a 157.018. Horton, Crampton, Hernandez and Pizzicami now the top 5. James Watson still hasn't improved. He's still sitting there in 6th with his 58.040. Oh wow, poor James Watson there. Buries himself in the tie barrier, then gets buried deeper in there by the 88 of Jonathan Hernandez. Also, a difficult pit lane to get out of here. I just asked Brian Pizzicami. He once took the wrong way to get out of there and got a GT3 car flying. have about 6.5 minutes left in practice here. These guys are all still trying to figure out the track, figure out where they're strong, figure out where they're weak. Some people still haven't even got lap times in yet, like the 4 of Jaron Sanchez. Or they do, they're just so slow they're not showing up. And around goes Sanchez. Oh, my apologies, he does have a lap time in. Surprisingly though, Brian Chambliss without a representative time in. Got 2:39.575, which is more than 42 seconds off the pace. At that rate, he'd be going a lap down every 3 laps. So we currently have 23 people in this race session. Strength of field, because this goes off of road rating rather than the oval rating, is a 1422. Most people, a very low range of licensing, myself included. That was we had 22 drivers plus myself in this race session. And around goes Sanchez once more.
Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today is gonna be awesome because we're bringing the Chaos Mod.
Whoops. I restarted one of my internet programs there because it was being pretty heavy on the memory side of things. It only seems to have made things worse. Go figure. Because of Kemi and Hernandez there go racing out of the pit lane. Around goes Kyle Kraus behind them. And then Hernandez goes too deep into turn 5. And yeah, I'm gonna re-close down Chrome. Oh, that's a big hit for Jonas Marquez. We have less than 2 minutes now until the end of practice. We do have a few new names in the race as well that we haven't seen, like Mitchell Bressie. We got Travis Dart out there in the 11. I got Cameron Sarton. Of course, we got Alexandra Butters, who has made a few starts already. But we're going to go to a commercial break. When we come back, we're going to see the results of qualifying around here. It should be a much longer qualifying than what we're used to. So make sure you guys stay tuned. All right, welcome back to the Rutnut Designs road race at the Daytona International Speedway. And the grid is set. On the pole will be TJ Crampton, who got a 156.393, just beating out Jonathan Hernandez in the 1888 car by just 0.386 of a second. Chris Champa will be starting out of third in the 2 car. Kyle Kraus out of fourth in the 60 car. James Watson in the 39 will be out of P5, with Brian Chambliss out of P6 in the 21. Got the 38 of Thomas Harmon in 7th. The 48 of Andrew Perkins out of 8th. Matt Burgess in the 12 out of 9th. And Frank Isaacson out of 10th in the 24. With Travis Massier in the 13th, starting out of P11. And those are the only people who got lap times in. They're the only people who are eligible for the Hard Charger Award. And then we're going to have Mitchell Bressie out of 12th. Got Matt Horton 13. Alexandra Butters out of 14. Ken Campbell 15th. Brian Pizzicami 16th. John Lazelle 17th. Dennis Marquez 18th. Mark Pentacuff 19th. Jaron Sanchez out of 20th. Cameron Sarton and Travis Starr wrapping up the field in 21st and 22nd positions. So it would appear that they're not going to make it to grid. "25 laps here of the Daytona International Speedway road course. Let's see how our oval drivers and their oval cars can handle this. Alright, the hearts are a-thumping, the adrenaline is a-pumping. Time for these guys to get serious. This is the most cars we've had on the grid for a while, so it's going to be interesting to see how turn one's going to go. The pace car's off, and we're underway here for the Rutnut Designs road race at the Daytona International Speedway. It looks like we've already lost the safety car. He's somewhere in the pit lane, we don't know where. And Jonathan Hernandez trying to take advantage on the outside here of turn one. Didn't quite work out for him, as TJ Crampton was able to hold on to the lead. 2 by 2 throughout the field we go, as everyone is jockeying for position. No one's fallen off the track yet, which is a very good sign. Currently he's back here watching Travis Massier, seeing how these guys are getting on. When it comes to road course racing, there's just a big ballerina act on throttle control. Too much throttle, you go around. Not enough throttle, you lose out on a whole ton of speed on corner exit. The field begins to spread out. Chris Champeau has snuck his way up into the second position. We've got 3 white cars leading the way. Jonathan Hernandez looking like he wants to try and take that second position back away from Chris Champeau. TJ Crampton's already nearly got a full second lead over the rest of the field. So from here, he's just going to start racing the track and trying to maintain that lead. Now we've got the camera set to focus on crashes. Just for this exact reason, around goes the 12 of Matt Burgess coming out of the shitty chicane there. Turns 13 and 14. And he has dropped all the way down to the 20th position. Looking in the mid-packs now, there's Brian Pizzakemi trying to make up some positions. He's already gained 3 since the start of this race. There's a 10 of Alexandra Butters. Butters here is actually a bit of a road course whiz. Owns a road team and everything. So it's a bit of a surprise to see him not put in a lap time in qualifying. There's Mitchell Bressy there in the 99 car just behind Frank Isaacson. Frank doing a good job to maintain his starting position there, P10. Especially against someone as formidable as Mitchell Bressy there. A 2.7 KI rating in that 99 car on road courses. I'm pretty sure this is him making his debut with the Output Racing League. There's John Lozelle, he's just in behind Butters. In 15th, Kyle Kraus. He is in 5th position. He's lost one from where he started to James Watson, just ahead of him. The lap times are starting to come in. And TJ Crampton put in a banger time. He was 6/10 faster than everyone else. As around goes Bressy. Oh, that's unfortunate. Just waiting for a gap for him to sneak through into. Now he's all the way down in 18th. There's the 12 of Matt Burgess just behind him. And off the track goes Kyle Kraus. That's a freebie for those guys. Oh, and around goes Butters. That snapped pretty early going through the bus stop chicane there. We're very unlucky to not be able to hold on to that one after the amount of effort that went into trying to save it. Brian Pizzakemi has moved his way up into the top 10. Just getting around Frank Isaacson here. And just behind, John Lozelle making a big move up the inside of Travis Massia, almost getting Frank Isaacson as well. Frank went a little bit deep into turn 1. It looks like Frank exploring alternate dimensions in the race today. As they catch up to the 60 of Kyle Kraus. That might not have been Kyle that we saw going off the track earlier. That was possibly the 5 Mark Penscuff or the 4 Jaron Sanchez. Up towards the front of the pack, it's still TJ Cranton leading the way. He has a 3-second lead over Chris Champeau in P2. And Chris Champeau now has a second and a half over Jonathan Hernandez in third. So for them, it's all just about maintaining their speed now and looking after their equipment. They don't have to worry about battling so much. Not like the 38 Thomas Harmon, who has James Watson just in behind. Looking at John Lozelle sitting there in 12th. He's gained 5 positions from where he started. He's on the chase after Frank Isaacson. Matt Burgess, Ken Campbell, and Mitchell Bressy all lined up here. 13th, 14th, and 15th. Guys will be looking for some better results here. Look at the 15 of Ken Campbell. He's trying to chase down Matt Burgess, trying to hold off Mitchell Bressy. No offense to Bressy, but I was honestly expecting him to do a little bit more than what he's doing. Oh, Travis Massey has gone around and Michael Bressy nowhere to go but into the side of him, and that's a lot of damage on Travis's car. Let's see what befell the 13. Coming into turn 1. Does he just lose the back end? The middle of the 2 corners? Matt Burgess in behind. Yep, he just gets the hippie shakes, and around he goes. Matt Burgess very lucky to miss him. And, oh, Bressy just very unfortunate to not do the same. And that is the 13 car into the pit lane. Unscheduled stop for Bressy, unscheduled stop for the 13 and Master as well. Although I don't think Bressy's actually in the pits as it stands. He's still out on track. He's just coming around the bus stop right now. Looking at the 39 of James Watson, trying to make a move on the 38 of Thomas Harmon. James Watson trying to work feverishly on the back end of Thomas Harmon here. Can't quite get the advantage. Doesn't have the drive out of the corner that Thomas Harmon has, especially coming through 6 and 7. A little bit of a lock up there from Chambliss coming through the hairpin, not the hairpin, the chicane. Going to leave him vulnerable to attack from Andrew Perkins. Oh, and TJ Crampton's lost the lead. We didn't see this happen because, focusing on crashes. TJ Crampton's caught up to him and gone to the lead of the race. And Jonathan Hernandez has closed right in on these two as well. I think what we're going to do right now is we're going to go to a quick commercial break. So when we come back, we will return to racing action and go until green flag stops to make sure you guys stay tuned. furious battle going on with our top three right here in the Rutnut Designs road race at the Daytona International Speedway. TJ Crampton stole back the lead going around the outside of turns 11 and 12 heading into the shitty chicane. And Chris Champeau almost lost second to Jonathan Hernandez. What this little bit of in-battling has done with the top three is it's really slowed them up. As you can see in the background there, Thomas Harmon and James Watson starting to catch up. They're only about 3 seconds off of Jonathan Hernandez now, rather than 7 seconds. TJ Crampton building up his lead again, back out to 2.2 seconds. Jonathan Hernandez has snuck his way, whoop, wrong one, up into second place in front of Chris Champeau. Chris Champeau is not going to take that one lying down. In the background there, Thomas Harmon and James Watson still closing in on our second and third place drivers. Jonathan Hernandez still under threat from the two of Chris Champeau. Looks like Thomas Harmon's actually dropped James Watson off from behind him here a little bit. In fact, he has. Thomas wants to join this battle in the worst way right now. See Chris Champo just trying to experiment with some alternate lines on exits, trying to find some kind of advantage to where he can use it to catch up to Jonathan Hernandez. He's not getting anything so far. In fact, Chris Champo goes very deep under brakes into the chicane, and he's going into the pits. He's blinking, he's going into the pits. Here we go. First round of green flag stops already well and truly underway. So many people in the pits right now. We're looking at the 12 of Matt Burgess. Got the 4 of Jaron Sanchez just in front of him. And the 4 of Jaron Sanchez going off onto the grass. There's Andrew Perkins and Matt Horton. They have decided to not pit yet. They'll probably pit on the next lap. Thomas Harmon, one of those who came into the pits this time. So Chris Champo only actually fell to P6 in his pit stop cycle, as our 2 leaders, CJ Crampton and Jonathan Hernandez, are in the pits. But the 21 of Brian Chambliss staying out, so he wants to try and lead a lap. Matt Horton also choosing to stay out. So it could be a combination of them trying to lead a lap and also maybe trying to have fresher tires for later in the race. One thing is for sure, Chris Champo has retaken the effective second place here. Oh! Big curb strike there for John Lazelle. He went absolutely airborne. And off the track a little bit with someone. I heard grass, and there it is, Mark Pentacuff, who has gone a lap down. Brian Chambliss just rounding NASCAR turn 4, going into the chicane. And he is in the pits. Does a 33 Matt Horton do? He's in the pits as well. So with that, all the pit stop cycles will be complete. Brian Chambliss still able to lead a lap. So that's still points heading his way. Chambliss has fallen down to 7th right now, which is honestly not that bad. He's got Kyle Kraus less than a second up the road. He's got fresher tyres than Kyle Kraus by 2 laps as well. That'll help him out here trying to get around him. There's Jonathan Hernandez, who has recaptured 2nd place. Chris Champeau hot on his heels. It looks like Chris Champeau overdriving it a little bit through turn 1 that time. Lost out on quite a bit of time on the exit of 1 going through turn 2. There's Ken Campbell getting around a lap down car of Mark Pensacough. Brian Pizzicami down in P10. Andrew Perkins in 9th. And the biggest mover of this whole race is Brian Pizzicami, up 6 from where he started. Matt Horton up 5. Again, neither of them are actually eligible for the Hard Charger Award. That would actually be falling into the clutches of Thomas Harmon right now, up 3 positions from where he started. Looking at Brian Chambliss, still trying to chase down Kyle Kraus. He's also going to try and hold off Matt Horton, who's just in behind. Matt Horton, who pitted on the same lap as Brian Chambliss. Looks like Chambliss might be overdriving the car a little bit on these fresher tyres. Looks like Hernandez and Chris Champeau still continuing their battle here. Hernandez possibly with a slowdown going through the shitty chicane. Something that we missed. And Chris Champeau has now recaptured 2nd. The epic battle continues for second place. These guys are not going to leave each other alone for this whole race. Here comes Chris Champone up the inside at the bus stop. Doesn't leave Hernandez much room. And he squeezes back through into second. But what will Hernandez do to fight back? Hernandez getting us a little bit of a better run through the bus stop. Hanging right on the bumper of Chris Champo. He's trying to pull to the outside. Couldn't quite get there. Move was blocked off quite easily by Chris. They're using up all the track they can. Oh, Chris getting a little bit squirrely coming out of the shitty chicane. And Hernandez taking very early breaks into turn one. Wanting to make sure he didn't run up Chris's behind. Very smart driving. This could end up becoming one of those Titanic battles as we go on through the race. I think for now we're going to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we will be going to the end of this race. So make sure you guys stay tuned. And we are back with the Rutnut Designs road race at the Daytona International Speedway. And this battle for second is continuing to heat up as the laps are starting to wind down. Only 5.5 laps left to run for these guys. TJ Crampton is 10 seconds up the road. He's not going to get caught from here. He's continuing to extend his gap to these guys each and every single lap. And not by a short margin either. In the last 3 laps, he's gained 1.3, 1.3, and 1.6 seconds respectively. And he's mostly gaining it in the last portion of the lap. At a portion where he doesn't have to worry about battling anyone. Smaller gains this time for Crampton though, only 0.4 of a second at the line. Still out to nearly 10 seconds. Hernandez trying to go around the outside of the International Horseshoe. Couldn't quite get there this time though. Hernandez fainting to the inside there on the transition back to the main track, turn 6. He's trying to tempt Chris Champeau into making a mistake as they're coming up on Jonas Marquez, who very smartly gets out of the way for them. With just a balance of 4 laps to go when they get to the start-finish line, it's going to be time for Hernandez to start picking up his game here and trying to make a move. Gone are the days where he's, going to be braking early to just maintain the gap and not run into Chris Champeau. He's going to have to start making a desperate move. As both drivers getting very squirrely into the shitty chicane. You see, Hernandez is starting to pick up his game here a little bit. Looking for the best overtaking opportunities. Taking a much tighter line through turn 6 than what Chris Champeau took, and that's gotten him to the inside of Chris Champeau now. That was what he needed, was to tempt Chris Champeau into a mistake, running wide, so that way he can take full advantage. And he's going to get it into the bus stop this time. Now what can Chris Champeau do to fight back? That is the million-dollar question. It doesn't look like Chris Champeau actually has much for Jonathan Hernandez. Look at the gap Hernandez has gotten already. Out to 1.1 seconds, 1.2 seconds. As Chris Champeau spun the wheels coming out of the shitty chicane. He's going to lose a lot of time from that. We have just 3 laps to go in this race. I'm not sure if Chris Champeau is going to be able to close back in on Hernandez here. All Hernandez has to do is keep that truck clean and keep running his lines. And make sure he doesn't hit that throttle too hard. So let's go check in on our leader here. He's going through NASCAR 3 and 4, turns 11 and 12 on this particular variant of the track. Down into the shitty chicane at 13 and 14. Just 2 laps left to run for TJ Crampton.
Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today is gonna be awesome because we're bringing the Chaos mod into GTA 5 RP.
And I hate that it's doing that. Sounds and noises and sounds. So let's just have a quick little look at the stats here on TJ Crampton. He's got 23 starts here with the league, 3 wins, 8 top 5s, and 104 rating. He's going to add another win to that column as long as disaster does not strike with the lap and a half he has left in this race. He's driving a Toyota as well, according to the roster anyway. And yep, you can see the Toyota there on the front of that truck. He just ever so slightly kisses that curb. As now it's a white flag, last lap, last chance to win it or wear it for TJ Crampton. And he would be in absolute cruise control mode right now. Him and Jonathan Hernandez actually only separated by 1/100th of a second on that last lap completed. So Hernandez is really stepping up his game, trying to pull away from Chris Champeau. And it looks like they're separated by the lap down car of Jaron Sanchez at the moment. Are our second and third place drivers. Normally road course racing, especially from the broadcast point of view, can be a little bit boring, but guys have really provided some action here today for the Rutnut Designs road race at the Daytona International Speedway. As Crampton comes through the bus stop for the final time. Into NASCAR 3 and 4, turns 11 and 12 on the track. Got to negotiate the shitty chicane one more time. And coming out of the final corner, putting the 4th win into the wins column. Your winner here for the Rutnut Designs road race at the Daytona International Speedways, the 61 of TJ Crampton. And with all formalities out of the way, it looks like P2 is going to go the way of Jonathan Hernandez. P3 going the way of Chris Champeau. And it looks like we're going to have Thomas Harmon coming home in 4th. See Matt Horton just behind him in 5th. Brian Chambliss recovered into P6. let's go back to looking at our leader. He's taken the full road course on his cool down lap. We're just waiting for everyone to cross the start finish line and finish their races. Like we're just waiting on about 5 people left to finish the race. And now it's time for some victory burnouts for the 61 of TJ Crampton. All right, with that, we're going to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll have driver interviews, so make sure you guys stay tuned. All right, welcome back, everyone. And we're kicking things off with the Autism Awareness Hard Charger Award. And today's Hard Charger Award winner only gained 3, but he qualified, so it counts. course, our Hard Charger Award winner for this race is going to be the 38 of Mr. Thomas Harmon. Also capturing P4, Thomas. Looked like a bit of a challenging race out there. A lot of strategy, a lot of thought process goes into road course racing, especially since we don't have cautions. What was it like for you out there today?
I was doing great until I caught one of the turtles, and then for whatever reason, my truck would not turn after that. I just kind of started falling off slowly but surely.
Yeah, those turtles in the shitty chicane, especially, can be quite rough on the trucks. But how's the rest of the race like? Just trying to navigate through, what is effectively a go to woe kind of a race.
Well, I most of my the I say most, but it was like two spots I gained on first lap there, like first corner, and from there I just kind of rode and tried to maintain my position, push it when I felt like I could, and tried to keep everybody behind me.
Now, what was the strategy heading into the pit stops? Because we noticed a lot of people pitted at lap 12, a lot of people pitted on lap 13, and a couple of people even tried staying out a little bit longer than that.
I didn't really have any particular strategy in mind. I just knew I wanted to pit around lap 12 or 13. It didn't make a difference to me. And then I saw Chris peel off, and I figured I may as well peel off too and try to get the undercut on Jonathan. But slow stop, slid into the wall as well on the exit, so that didn't work out.
Well, it's definitely looked like an interesting kind of race, but let's look forward towards next week. We're going to be heading to, once my crap loads, the Martinsville Speedway. So, what's the feeling for you heading into the paperclip?
It's better than a road course, so there's always that. Um, but it again, just gonna have to be patient. Try to find the gaps where you can build up momentum and keep the momentum.
All right, before we let you go tonight, anyone you want to give a quick shout out to, Thomas?
Yeah, shout out to you up in the booth for broadcasting it. All the fans that show up each week, all the drivers that show up each week, and everyone on the side of the truck.
All right, thank you very much for coming out, Thomas. Congratulations on P4 and the Hard Charger Award. We look forward to seeing you again next week.
I'll be there.
All right, so that was Thomas Harmon, our fourth place getter and our Hard Charger Award winner. Now we're left in a little bit of a conundrum because our third place getter, Mr. Chris Champeau, has exited stage left. He rated us and he left. I wanted to have a chat to him for getting third. But I guess we're just going to have to move on to our second place getter. And today's second place getter is the 88 of Mr. Jonathan Hernandez. Jonathan came in with the wrong paint scheme, but it turned to work out a treat for you coming in second place here. And might I say, with quite the epic battle with Chris Champeau.
Yeah, well, first off, let me point it out because I knew I was going to be asked that question if I made the podium. I blame Trading Paints because I put on the 88 for the league scheme and it never registered as the 88. So I like to point that out. That way I knew you were going to ask me. But yeah, overall, the race was fine. Well, more than fine. We got second place, so I can't be disappointed with that. Uh, the battles with Chris pretty much the entire race was epic, especially, how I wouldn't say clean since we did make a few contact, but overall, I mean, racing with him, it was a lot of fun, and we were able to pull away with the second place, mainly by saving the tires a bit on that second run after the stops. So I think that helped out a bit, and overall, it was a great race. Can't be disappointed, especially after the past results um, at Atlanta. So good bounce back heading off to this off week.
It definitely is going to help you out big time in the points battle, especially with a lot of the top contenders not doing so well in this race. Matt Horton down in fifth, Kyle Kraus down in P7. So it's definitely quite a bit of a shake-up here as far as the way that everything has worked out.
Yeah, at the end of the day, for me, it's not, for the points as much as, it's, I usually am, this season with a vacation I'm taking in the summer, I'm pretty much gonna miss the entire playoffs. So, going into the season, I knowing that I was just gonna run for fun, race, still clean. I'm not gonna take anybody out, but still be competitive, still show like, hey, I'm still here around, even though the summertime I'll be gone. So, in the end, I'm just running for fun, trying to give these guys, hard battle, telling them like, hey, when I come back, it's not going to be easy anymore. You know, with especially after Christian and his hiatus, opened the door for a lot of people. So that's where you're seeing Orton get the wins. You're seeing Champ get the wins. TJ, opening the doors, a lot of possibility to everyone else. So for me, it's just more looking towards the future.
All right, well, let's look forward to the future. While we're speaking about it, we're going to Martinsville next week. So go from literally the biggest track on the schedule, a road course, and going into the paperclip. So what's the feeling like for you heading into the Martinsville Speedway?
Yeah, it's I was joking with everyone before the race and during the pre-race. I was telling them, I was like, it's funny how we have a road course here, and then we have 1 week to relax, sort of, and then we head straight into a short track. The paperclip, the one that's probably gonna produce so much cautions. Maybe we'll be lucky and have very little, but you know, it's not even Martinsville. We go to Milwaukee after that, and last time we ran there had a good result. But these next few races, Dega's in the picture. It's going to be intense. I think the points are going to shake up so much, and I think end of the day, after all those races, it's just a battle of who can survive. And I think if you can survive those races, you're gonna come away with either the points lead. You're gonna come away with a great, great, strong run.
Well, it's definitely going to be difficult to survive Martinsville. We all remember the dark race that never made it to broadcast.
Yeah, especially 2 years ago where we had the playoff race there, and you know I remember Sturgill pretty much DQ'd on the final lap, and it cost him a chance at the championship.
That's exactly
So I mean,
right.
anything could go. Yep.
Yeah, it's all about survival at the end of the day. But you definitely survived here today. And I know you got a couple of shout outs you got to give. So who you got to shout out this week?
Oh, I know. Pretty much big team now, big sponsors. You know, first and foremost, I got to shout out and I got to thank my family members, especially my grandparents and my mother and stepfather, my brothers for supporting me along this journey. Especially during RTP, they know how intense that gets. So first and foremost, them. I can also can't say without my girlfriend. She's been super supportive of me through this, and you know I keep thankful for her, and I can't think wish of anybody better than her. But yeah, y'all, everyone at Output, you, Jaren, looks like Hal now on the admin team. Brian, everyone on drivers council. Uh, you know, putting on this league. I mean, it was a lot of fun today. Hopefully, like I know some of the broadcasts it'll show how much close battles they are, so it's not everyone's singled out and boring. This is the most fun league I think I've ever been a part of. And then, of course, my team, Triad Racing Enterprises, and huge part, especially with me helping start up that team and all our sponsors. Stent Analyzer, you can find them out at stentanalyzer.com. Susan Media, RPM Motorsports. And you can also look up their North Carolina based company, RPM Motorsports NC.com, and also ALOG's projects, and thank for everybody and looking forward to the rest of the season and pretty much the future.
All right, well, thank you very much for coming out, Jonathan. Congratulations on P2. And we look forward to seeing what you can do in a couple of weeks at the paperclip.
Thank you, Corey.
All right, guys, that was Jonathan Hernandez, today's second place getter. And we still got no show from Chris Champo. I think he's packed it up for the night, which is unfortunate. But coming up next, we got today's winner. And this is only his fourth win in the league, but it's only what was it? His 94th start, oh, no, 24th start in the league as well. So, really exciting times here for the 61 of Mr. TJ Crampton. TJ, you were the absolute dominant force, getting it on pole and just running home with the win. But we did notice towards the middle of that first stint, you had a little bit of a mistake and lost the lead for a little bit.
Yeah. I was going to the bus stop and I went to shift, and my shifter fell off my desk, and it landed in first gear, and it downshifted, and I quickly grabbed my shifter and just placed it on my desk, and the next lap I had to screw it back on down the backstretch. But yeah, scary times.
It definitely sounds like very scary times. But the rest of the race, it was cool, calm, and collected the whole way. And you ended up coming home by a really big margin.
Yeah. After that second or the first pit stop, not pit stop. They were only like I think 3 seconds behind me when I was looking at my relative, and then towards the end of the race, I looked back at it, and they were 11 seconds back. So, um, them battling obviously helped me, and just running some good clean laps, staying consistent. That's really all what it's about on road courses is staying consistent. Don't really burn your stuff off and make mistakes. All you gotta do is just be consistent.
All right, well, let's talk about consistency here. You consistently put in some super fast laps, even being 8 tenths of a second faster than the rest of the field as far as the fastest lap of the race is concerned. Uh, where did you find the speed?
Honestly, I just put it to my road course skills. My I rating doesn't show it. I only have like 800 IR, but uh, on road courses with the stock cars, like the trucks, the Xfinity cars, and the Cup cars, I'm just really good at road courses on them. Unfortunately, not GT cars or anything like that. So, but just love stock cars at road courses.
All right, now let's look forward towards next week, TJ. Oh, not next week, but in 2 weeks' time, we're going to be going to the Martinsville Raceway. What's the feeling like from you heading from a road course into the paperclip?
Um, Honestly, it's just survive at the paperclip. To be honest, I haven't survived any other race besides this race. And even then, I almost blew my motor uh, after my shifter fell. But really, it's just about survival. I just want to be, like I said, be consistent now for the rest of the season. Just keep getting good finishes, stay in the race, don't get caught up in something or wreck myself or do any dumb stuff. Really, that's just all I'm going to try to be doing.
All right, TJ, thank you very much for coming out. Is there anyone you want to give a quick shout out to before we let you go here tonight?
Gotta thank you for broadcasting as always. JEM Esports, Matthew Van Gelder, also with Speedway Memes Motorsports.
All right, well, thank you very much for coming out, TJ. Congratulations on picking up your first win for the season, the fourth in your career. And we look forward to seeing what you can do in a couple of weeks when we head to Martinsville Raceway.
Thanks, Corey.
All right, guys, that was today's winner, TJ Crampton, and what a fantastic win it was. And that is also going to wrap it up for here tonight. And as everyone said, we're going to be going for a week break before we start heading into Martinsville just to get everyone onto a little bit of a reset. And, we'll be back bigger and stronger than ever in a couple of weeks' time. As apparently I'm trying to close down the wrong things. So until then, when we go to the Martinsville Raceway, I've been your commentator, the Aussie Sim commentator. We'll see you guys in a couple of weeks.